Hey everybody, this is John Hiley with DentTrainer.com. I'm going to be talking today about this dent on the front side of the quarter panel. We are going to be doing 100% glue pulling on this, and this dent came out in about 25 minutes. Taking a look through the panel, you can see that it does have a little bit of depth. However, we're going to show you in detail how to move this metal along without experiencing an oil can effect. You can kind of see the depth here from the front of the panel. That deepest part to the left side of the dent is the part that you do not want to begin oil canning in this location. But let's go ahead and start with the process. I'm going to go ahead and use a Atlas Titan oval tab. I'm going to go ahead and start with the depth up there at the top. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because it's anchored by the edge of the panel at the bottom. So I want to get a little bit of tension going here at the top, kind of giving it that pushback effect to the bottom of the dent. I'll go ahead and pull this off here, and I want you to take a look at this tab. This is not the flat Atlas Titan. This actually has an oval, or if you could imagine it, kind of looks like if you cut a football in half, is the connection point of this tab. Right there's about the amount of glue that I put on it. I kind of put a line right down the center, and these things pull hard. I mean, these things pull really hard. But now we're going to go ahead and go after the bottom part of this dent. Just kind of bringing it off that bottom edge. And you guys have seen me do this before, where I start at one side of the dent and then come down and glue pull the other side. My whole goal is to create stability. 2 stability points throughout the damage. We've got one at the deepest point right off the bat, and then one at the other side of the dent, creating the stability that I'm going to need to kind of work my tab through the center of this damage. We're going to keep on rolling with that Atlas Titan. As long as it looks like the Titan, we're going to keep on using it. So you notice here that my pull is kind of mid-center at this point. I'm going to kind of break this dent up into little pockets that are about the size of the tab. Go ahead and check it. That's our signature move there. When we spin it and we don't feel any play in the tab, we know that it's set up and it's time to pull. So there we go. You can see I kind of did what I would call the bow tie effect here, where I started at the top, started at the bottom, got the tension off, and then I put one directly in the center to basically give me 2 pockets, as you can see there, that are almost identical to the size of that Atlas Titan tab. So there we go, going into the first pocket. And that was my deepest one, so I wanted to get that taken care of first. Let it set up here just for a moment. And again, we're going to go ahead and give it the check. Looks nice and tight. You don't see any play in the bottom of that tab. We know she is ready to go. Rolled pulls at this time. I'm kind of done shocking the deepest part of the dents out. So you always know that when I go into the mini lifter, we're starting to get into an area in this repair that the dents, the little lows are getting very, very shallow. So now we're going to go in for a little bit of a blending session. Something I want you guys to notice is that I'm sitting inside the car and my head can go so much deeper on this panel. If I had that door closed, I couldn't get my head behind the dent. So here's a look here at the blending, and this is me holding the camera and looking through the LCD screen. I want you to see what I'm seeing throughout this panel. So we're able to just move through this and take out all these little waves that you might see from a distance. Here I am moving up through the panel and getting through the center of the damage. And I'm just trying to flow these waves out and just trying to make it look like the rest of the panel. Right here's a little spot that's not too deep. However, it's one that I'm just going to do a little pluck right here. Letting it set up here just a moment. Again, mini lifter, little bitty low, real nice control. I didn't snap through on that one. You guys see that? I took what I needed. So I just gave it little bitty flex, little bitty flex. I took all I needed, and that's going to keep us out of a lengthy knockdown session. And a lot of times that's where I'm at with the mini lifter. That's my favorite part, is that you can take just a little bit. You can even watch the metal kind of swell around the tab. And once you get a feel for it, you're gonna know when you've pulled that metal just a little bit, just perfect. So again, we're going to go ahead and run through it from our original angle. So this is what I was talking about. We went to our cross-check angle. We did our work that needed to be done from that angle. Now we're just going to run through it from this side. Mini lifter taking little pulls. I think that's one issue that a lot of folks have, is that they will just erupt that dent into a giant high spot. You gotta take what you need. Here we are again going into a blending session. I basically pulled a few little lows that I seen in between the blends that I did originally. So I was in there doing this originally before we took our pulls. And now I'm in here just getting behind and just picking a few of the smallest little spots. You notice I got my light back at that real tight reflective angle. So I'm trying to get the dent flat at this point. Trying to get it to all of its natural reflections to flow through the panel how it was originally. So there we go, still doing a little hammer and knockdown work as well. I want to show you no holes were drilled in this door jamb. And you can see all the way through the reflections here going through the panel. Right there we are at our cross-check angle. I'm going to take a look at it from that angle as well. Right here is our original angle. So we're checking it through at this angle. And now we're going to go ahead and go into the natural reflections. And keep in mind, these are the reflections that I was looking at during the whole repair process. So if you can see here, I want to show you some of the lines that I look through in natural reflections. You can see the bumper of that car behind it. I can actually see any of the crease lines that appear throughout the panel when I raise my head up and I raise it down. So I'm trying to distinguish any lines that I'm not going to be able to catch with my light. I'm trying to see that through this natural reflection. And then going outside, you've kind of got the same scenario here. You can look through the panel and you can use the reflections that are going straight across it. You can actually use that line that's on the ground there, that yellow painted line. I can't even tell you how many dents that I've repaired in that yellow painted line on the ground. Wonderful natural reflection, especially when the car is shaded and the sun is illuminating it. But anyhow, guys, we're all finished with our 25-minute glue pulling repair. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and just remember, you go through it from one angle, get your cross-checking done, get back to that original angle, and finish it up. Don't spend too much time in one angle because you know that it needs to be cross-checked. So let's talk about pulling it up 80% and then go to your cross-check angle, finish in 15%, and come back to your original angle for 5%. As always, guys, I appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Stay tuned and see what we come up with next time.